Live from the 1988 version of The Lady in Black, we are here for race number 5 of the 2025 Season 3 season of the Fuel Sportsman Series here at the Darlington Raceway for race number 5, the Waffle House Rebel 100. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, lads of all ages, live from the Darlington Raceway here on the backstretch in present time, but in the 1988 version of The Lady in Black. We're here on the front straightaway. My name, of course, is Trey Wright. 74 laps are on the docket for tonight's contest here at the Darlington Raceway for a tape-delayed broadcast here on the North American Sim Racing Network YouTube channel. Got a couple of people watching and in the chat already. I'd like to welcome everybody here to the Darlington Raceway. And that is not what we wanted to put on, just trying to get back over here to the NR2003 live screen. But we are here at Darlington and taking a look at all the cars that are in here. I have not watched this replay yet. Of course, the race happened on Friday evening, so I have no idea what is going to happen. All I know is that we're going to have a spectacular race here at the throwback version of Darlington. But, of course, now that we've got full control over the replay, we're going to go ahead and go down through the order, starting, of course, with the driver at the back end of the field. Starting all the way, I believe, how many cars we got in this field? How many rows do we have? We got 3, 6, so I got 13. I guess we have 13 cars, so let me just double check real quick. I am not good at math, so double checking. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 15 cars, not 13. So starting all the way deep in the field in 13th, driving the number 20 machine, Lucas Kennedy. Then back in here, Corbin Wentz, a little bit of a Rusty Wallace or Darrell Waltrip Dyguard team throwback, of course, thrown back to DC Solar. I love these throwback cars here. Rich Roy driving the Best Wetter Technology Pontiac. That is definitely not Vincenzo Focusato's car in disguise. That's certainly not going to trick me up tonight. Of course, Crystal Bennett rocking the Interstate Batteries 84 machine. Beautiful looking 79 car from Buddy Campos. We'll have to see if he'll race that at our next live race that we do here at Old Spice. Raffaella Sorensen rocking a very classic scheme that Kyle Petty ran after Dale Earnhardt did something stupid, and Kyle Petty ran that black and silver scheme for the Coors Light crew for, what was that? I can't remember the race team. It was the Felix Sabatis vehicle. I forget where they ran that. I think they ran that car at Dover. Nonetheless, you got the 6 of Davi Barbosa coming back here in the Fuel Sportsman Series. Then you got Keon Daly missed him last Wednesday night in the Grand National race, so but he is here for Sportsman. You got Blake Warren down at the inside and a very beautiful looking Bud King of Beers Dale Senior Wrangler jeans throwback from 1986. An Alan Kulwicki throwback from Emmy Schizato in the 9, and of course Ike Durbin, part of all 3 drivers from Millennium Auto Sport that have throwbacks. 2 of them, both Durbin and Rich Roy, are driving. I'm sorry, this is the funniest freaking thing I've ever seen. The 2 other drivers in Millennium Autosport just driving the 37 car, but with the number 86 crudely painted on there. Well, we'll see if we can get a shot from Emmy Schizato's car at just how crude this 37 car, or 86 car looks, I should say. There is the look. You've got a number 6 on there. Ike and Rich, if you guys are watching this, I love you guys, but I also simultaneously hate y'all. But Schizato and Alan Kulwicki car, Ike Durbin in the 86, a nice looking was that Nicky Conti in the 85. I'm not sure if that's another Dyguard throwback. Nicky, if you're in the chat, that would be awesome. Of course, Buddy, thank you, Buddy Campos, for a Buddy Arrington car. There's Vincenzo Focusato's actual car, Michigan Apples NJ Key machine. He drove out in the first ever fuel broadcast here on the North American Sim Racing Network. Funny enough, another tape-delayed broadcast at Michigan. They're in row number 2, the Chester's Family Market number 74 machine of Don LaPrade, looking for his second win of the season. Next to the number 100 of Apollo Hyde, another driver looking for another win this season. Hyde has got 2 wins on the season already at the season opener at Auto Club, and the last race here at Las Vegas has won the race at both of the real tracks. The other 2 fictional tracks have been won by other drivers. LaPrade won at CCIR in round number 3, and of course Ike Durbin won at Augusta in round number 2. But before we get things started, we'll take a look at the point standings as they run coming into tonight. Apollo Hyde with the points lead, a 14-point lead over Vincenzo Focusato. Keon Daly, 23 points back of the duo. Ike Durbin in 36th. And Lucas Kennedy has been putting together a string of consistent runs in that 20 machine. He sits 91 points back of these guys, of course. Don LaPrade has missed a couple of races. Same thing with Emi Schizzato. Blake Warren has missed a race or two. This is the first race that we've seen Davi Barbosa. But nonetheless, since we don't have an actual general or gentleman start your engines here, we're going to properly give Blake Warren the flowers that he deserves. Of course, going back to last Wednesday night, he put together an absolutely beautiful show, a perfect show for the Grand National Season 7 opener from Darlington. But since the gentleman starts your engines for that was a little bit mucked up there on my part, we're going to go ahead and play that command to fire the engines here for the Grand National race. Blake, take it away downstairs.
Thank you to Fuel for allowing us to put on an unofficial throwback race, and North American Sim Racing Network for broadcasting tonight's race. With that being said, welcome to the PPG Paint Southern Classic at Darlington. And drivers, start your engines!
We're going to go ahead and pretend he said it was the Waffle House Rebel 100, but nonetheless a great command there from Blake Warren, starting on the inside in row number 4. I forgot that I put the wrong sound pack in here, so we're going to be listening to a very special sound pack here for these guys. But nonetheless, Apollo Hyde and Don LaPrade in row 1, Vincenzo Focusato and Nicky Conti in row 2, Ike Durbin and Emi Schizzato in row number 3. It's once again showtime from South Carolina as the pace car is down the pit area. Hyde and LaPrade will lead the field through the Reese's restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're out and away here in South Carolina once again. Really good start for that 100 machine of Hyde, leading the field through turns 3 and 4, or rather turns 1 and 2. It's going to take a little bit of practice to get used to calling turns 3 and 4 in the current version Darlington turns 1 and 2. Hyde will lead the field through 1988 version Darlington turns 3 and 4. I feel like I'm watching the Days of Thunder race here at Darlington. Here comes the 74. Don LaPrade right in tow behind. Meanwhile, up in here, Keon Daly thundering that 94 machine to the inside, the 37. Down the back straightaway goes the field. Trying to run there is that 37 machine. Vincenzo Focusato right now holding off Keon Daly, coming around to complete lap number 4. Daly and Focusato nearly touching there off of the corner, but they will remain straight. Going back through here once again. Beautiful looking throwback job honoring Emi Schizzato honoring the 35 car from 1989 of Alan Kulwicki. I believe I got the year right for Kulwicki's rookie season. It was either 87 or 89. I know it was a late 80s car for that Quincy Steakhouse throwback, where they actually misspelled the last name of Kulwicki on that car. Crystal Bennett getting very squirrely going through the corner in that Interstate Batteries machine. Back at the front, it has been Hyde that has led all 4 laps of this race so far. Keon Daly has gone up to second in car number 94. They're going to be looking for the race lead here shortly. Going to go right on the back end of the 100. Hyde down to the inside. Daly has got a good run of that 94 machine, and they'll go to the point. Oh, somebody has gone around to the back. It looks like it was the 42 of Rafaela Sorensen. And you know what, Sensei? We're going to go ahead and take a look and see what happened to Rafaela in turns 1 and 2, it looks like. If this isn't a live race, so every incident we've got on track, we'll go ahead and take a replay at, and just getting into the outside wall in turn number 1. No harm, no foul, just a single car spin. Thought that Coors Light Dodge was going to bottom out there for a moment off of the banking. But they'll get that Coors Light machine back up and gunning. And they will rejoin the race here on lap number 5. Back to the race lead is the 94 of Keon Daly. Hyde back in the second spot. LaPrade running in third. Pretty calm race so far for the opening 7 laps of this contest. And how about Nicky Conti as another car looks to gone around? It's Corbin Wentz in the 08. Take a look and see what happened to Corbin coming off of turn number 2. Had equally rough night on Wednesday, and it looks like it may have been the same thing. Ooh, that may. I don't know if this is a multi-car accident or not. That, by the letter of the law, is a multi. I don't know if the caution flag came out, however. By the letter of the law, that should be a multi-car accident. I don't know if the caution flag is, in fact, out. It is not. So Corbin Wentz will go a lap down. No, my mistake. The caution flag is indeed out. So the yellow flag will fly here on lap number 7 for the opening time this afternoon. And yeah, that was a multi-car accident. Wasn't sure if that was going to be called a multi. But everybody will slow down here. It's Keon Daly leading a couple laps there in that 94 Hershey's Dodge. We'll see if these guys and gals will come down the pit lane here after 7 laps of the 64 scheduled here at the Darlington Raceway. I imagine that these guys will indeed come down. And it looks like Hyde will be the only one down. Daly is going to stay out. Does anybody else stay out with him? That's going to be a big fat no. As Daly will come down the pit line, or Daly will stay out in car number 94, and everybody else will follow Apollo Hyde down the pit lane. That is a bold strategy by Keon Daly to stay out after an 8-lap tire run, as we'll follow along with Don LaPrade, as he is our, I don't know, Dasani pit crew of the afternoon, I guess. Very beautiful looking sight there. LaPrade's crew getting it done. 4-tire pit stop going all the way around, but it looks like Apollo Hyde will come out there in car number 100. And Daly, the only car to stay out. And we're going to take another look at what happened to Corbin Wentz. We're going to go on board with the 20 of Lucas Kennedy and see what happened from his POV. Not Kurt Cobain POV, but just Lucas Kennedy POV. Up the racetrack went Wentz. Actually, I thought Wentz got on the outside wall. Just a little bit of a tap there from Kennedy. So that was, in fact, a multi. And Kennedy causing the first accident of the afternoon here for these guys in car number 20. And we'll go ahead and skip to the restart, since we have the power to do that. Forgot the caution flag was still on. We're about to go green flag racing here. 10 laps into the 74-lap contest. Keon Daly currently leads the way, has led the last 4 laps. A couple of them were under the yellow flag. Apollo Hyde is second, Dunlaprod in third. How about Emmy Schizzato up there in P4 after the pits, as something happened to both Nicky Conti and the 37 of Focus Sato. Blake Warren rounds out the top 5. Daly heading back to the restart stripe. Green flag back out in the air. Here and already the inside going Apollo Hyde. She got the jump on the 94. Same thing with the 9 car. They go down to the inside, and yeah, staying out was not the play there for Keon Daly. He gets into the outside wall. We'll get a Darlington stripe before it became popular. And Apollo Hyde back to the race lead. Just got an absolutely picture-perfect jump in that 100 machine. Throwing it back to the Morgan McClure. Oh, I think just the McClure Racing 4 car. Through the corner they go once again, and here comes Laprade trying to draw a bead on the back end of the 100. Laprade on the back end of Hyde. And Schizzato trying to make up. Here comes Blake Warren down to the inside of Schizzato. Gonna get a big run coming off of the corner. Gonna go on board here with Blake Warren right on the back of the 9. Gives her a shove. Down the inside goes Schizzato. Hard into the outside wall goes the Alan Kulwicki throwback. The caution flag comes back out again. And you couldn't have timed it even more perfectly than that. Rich Roy going around. I believe somebody else went around. I believe that was Nicky Conti that went around in turns 1 and 2. And the caution flag coming out for the second time today. And Emmy Schizzato's bad luck will continue here at the Sportsman level. That is the 3rd consecutive race that Schizzato has been caught up in some sort of accident or has had something go wrong here. Was running in 3rd at the time, and now Schizzato will go to the boondocks and a lot of damage on that 100 machine. Unfortunately, nobody else was seriously involved. I can't tell if that's the roof flaps or the stupid paint job there from Ike on that car, but everybody will come down the pit lane once again after only about a 2-lap run. And Ike Durbin will stay out. Same thing for Kenny Campos in that Buddy Arrington throwback car. Keon Daly will make his first pit trip down the pit lane. And everybody will once again come down. We're going to do an onboard pit stop here with Dunlaprod. See these guys getting it done. Here the air guns going off. You see the official staring menacingly at that driver of that number 74 car. See if he's able to beat out Hyde off the pit lane. The jacks drop immediately, but Hyde with the track position will retain the race lead. 2 cars staying out, everybody else coming down the pit lane. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple of different looks at what happened to the 9 car, even though we saw it live. We saw it Bill O'Reilly live style, and, well, bad news if you're an Emmy Schizzato fan as we take a look at the replay. Just got punted in the rear by Warren. Down into the inside, sliding into Darlington's DMs. And up the racetrack goes the 9 hard into the outside retaining wall. Davi Barbosa getting loose going down the banking. The yellow flag immediately flies. And here comes Nicky Conti doing the best initial D impression. Slided that 85 car through the corner. And I believe the same thing happened. Yeah, Rich Roy, I believe he got ran over by the 20 car. We'll go ahead and see what happened to Roy as we rewind here. Well, I think Crystal Bennett just popped the 29 car from the rear end And around goes Roy. In that Best Water Technology car. We'll take another look. A couple of looks here. First off, from the back end of Emmy Schizzato. And see what their point of view was as Blake Warren just gives a little bit of a love tap, and around they go. Right in front of the Earnhardt Towers. Everybody else piling in. See an amazing save out of that 85 car. We got to take another couple looks at this. From the back end of Dunlop-Prod, and around goes Emmy. Nothing you can really do there if you're Schizzato, but another caution coming out here. Let's see who else. Who else do we want to get a replay of? Let's get another look and see this save out of Nicky Conti, doing their best Carson Hocevar impression with some really impressive driving. Here we go. I think this will be the ticket right here. Watch that 85 car going around in through the corner, and yeah, you got the initial D. Hold up, we got this. Let's rewind here. You guys are gonna hate me for this joke. If I can get it queued up on my cell phone here. I don't know if... I have no regrets. This is a tape-delayed broadcast. We can do whatever. Let's get one final look at this before we get to the restart, but that was just a very unfortunate scene there for Schizzato. And again, it was just a racing deal. Nothing that Blake did there on purpose, but unfortunately Schizzato was running in third, got run over, got nailed. We'll call it that. Up in the outside wall, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody flips over the barrier. I'm hoping I didn't see this race at all. The only thing I know is the thing that's pretty obvious right now. It's not obvious, and I won't say it, but I'm hoping that somebody pulled a, who was that, Sam McQuagg? No, I think that was, he pulled a Cale Yarborough and went over the fence, because that would be hysterical if somebody did. Getting back here, a little bit of a slug for the start of this race. Not sure if anybody stayed out. I believe, well, Buddy Campos being shown as the race leader. Gotta turn that stupid caution thing off. So Kenny Campos, the race leader, Hyde in second. Got the 74 of LaPrade in third. Green flag back out here. Lap number 18 underway, and a good restart for Campos, but that 100 machine ducking down to the inside. Oh, and Kenny gets loose off of the corner. He is into the ballpark. Right on cue. Barbosa going around. It's the big one off turn 2. I swear to God, I did not watch this replay beforehand, and Kenny saying, yeah, about that, somebody is going into the parking lot. Holy Christmas. Caution flag number 3 is back out, and yes, Kenny, I see the comment. I swear to God, I did not watch this race beforehand. Oh my God, that was a horrifying crash. I don't know why the wall texture happened. I don't know why there was still a wall texture, because that would have been hilarious if, buddy, if you went out of the the ballpark. Oh Lord. Well, Apollo Hyde back in the race lead under our third caution flag once again. It doesn't look like anybody is going to come down the pit lane that was not involved. Davy Barbosa and I believe Ike Durbin were caught up. And did Kenny retire? Yeah, Kenny retired after going into the pretty much going into the grandstands. Yeah, okay, it is unfortunate glitch in the sandbox. Thank you, thank you, Apollo. Oh my goodness. Well, oh boy. Well, we're gonna take a couple looks at this because that was hysterical. I'm gonna call it what I'm gonna call a spade as Kenny Campos, yeah, got loose to the corner. Oh my lord. Well, we'll take a look at it in super slow-mo. And up the outside, Kenny just getting loose off of the corner, hide down to the inside, and back up the racetrack. Yeah, that looked exactly like the, what was it, this 1955 Southern 500? Where Kelly Yarborough went into the parking lot. Fortunately, we didn't have a tow car crash as Rafaela Sorensen plows into the 79. Nicky Conti spinning the 6 car around. I think, did Ike Durbin get a piece in the 86? No, he didn't, but now, but Davi nearly went upside down in this Coca-Cola 6. Wow. Well, I think it's safe to say that that was absolutely the big one. As everybody scrambling like ants to get the heck out of the way. We're going to take probably about 2 or 3 onboards. We'll go on board. I think if this is, oh yeah, this is going to be a great view. Let's go on board with the side view camera of Dunlaprod. And yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 9. Yeah, oh, yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got there, ass moment. Oh my god, Kenny, I'm sorry. That's the funniest thing that I think I've seen in NR in a long time. We'll do an onboard, proper onboard with the 74. Yeah, oh, that is even worse. Oh my god, you're looking like a heat-seeking missile, buddy. I don't know what to tell you, but up the racetrack he goes. And that's a great thing about these tape-delayed broadcasts is that we can just screw around with the replays as much as we can. We'll get a look from Davi Barbosa's point of view. We'll do the helmet cam. 79 car goes up into the air, and around goes Barbosa. Unfortunately, was able to drive away from the accident scene. And we're gonna get one more look at it here. I think y'all know who we're gonna get maybe 2 more looks, because I want to see who was directly behind Kenny when that all went down. Yeah, we're gonna go on board with Rafaela Sorensen here and see what happened. And then, of course, we'll get the grand opus of the replays. Rafaela seeing that 79 car into the wall and just barely got clipped. Runs into one race car, 2, and then the wall. Nearly ran into somebody else there, but was able to get that 42 machine refired. And now it's finally time for the replay that we've all been waiting for. Let's go helmet cam for this. Let's go POV, you're Kenny Campos, and you're doing your best Kelly Yarborough impression. It was right off of the restart, just got loose in the corner, and yeah, the famous quote from Yarborough is that when you see grass on a racetrack, you know that you're pretty SOL. And fortunately, Kenny is okay, but my goodness, that was, in a word, troubling. And we're going to go ahead and watch this entire replay here. Right from the green flag. Because I think we're going to go ahead, because Kenny, I see the lower gear comment on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and watch the gears for Campos. Everybody else was just about to shift on to 4, and Kenny... Yeah, you were running in 3 at the time, and whammo! Into the parking lot, gets tagged by the 42, everybody else piles in. And fortunately, I think the only fatality, quote-unquote, was Kenny Campos in the 79. It's a tough break for you, Kenny. I feel bad, especially starting from the point there, but nonetheless, Apollo Hind, once again, the race leader, will go right to the restart since nobody came down El Pit Lane. So it's Hyde, Leprand, Focusato, Daly, and Durbin, your top 5. Green flag back out and away. Approaching the third of the way point through this race. Already got 3 cautions tacked onto the board. And a clean restart at that for these guys. Nobody going to the catch fence. Davide Barbosa going around. We'll see what happened to Barbosa. Actually, oh, well, got another multi-car incident. This was right off of the restart. Did the caution flag come out for this? If it did, I'm going to feel like an idiot for reviewing it, but Corbin went's nowhere to go, and Davide Barbosa with their best Kevin LePage impression. Tough scenes. Tough scenes indeed. I don't believe that this was a multi. Oh, indeed it was. Well, I feel silly for that. Caution flag number 4 immediately back out. And, well, we saw the replay of that initially, and caution number 4 already out on the speedway. We'll see if anybody else will come down this time. Doesn't look like... Ooh, does Apollo come down? They do not. Focusato will come down. Same thing with Bennett and Schizzato. Good repair job out of that 9 team. After that accident, Barbosa getting into the wall under caution. I think they may have lost steering in the 6. But we'll go ahead and get a proper replay of that crash. Do not believe, I believe Corbin Wentz also retired from the race. I don't know what the heck happened to Davi right on that restart. But it looks like something broke in the car. Just made a dead left and then spun it back around, and Wentz pile drove the 6. And yeah, Corbin, I don't blame you for Lamau XD from the server. That was kind of dumb. Not gonna lie, we'll get one more look at this from the POV of Corbin. Caution number 4 out on the speedway in that Storm Surge Esports machine. A little bit toasted, unfortunately. So we get another look at it. Barbosa going down. Corbin trying to back it down, but yeah, I don't know what the heck happened there. And Corbin saying, yeah, F this S, I'm out. I don't blame you, buddy. That was kind of dumb. Kind of dumb. So leaders did not come down the pit lane. So a quickie yellow here in all sense of the words. Caution flag is not out, but the green flag about to come back out here. There it is. Oh, and a squirrely start for Hyde. Right off the jump. And here comes the 74 of Leprand. Back into the... We're finally out of the first third of this race. Already 4 cautions tacked on. I don't know how many we had. But nonetheless, Hyde back out in the race lead. Leprand trying to gun down on the inside of that 100. Here comes Daly trying to make it a 3-horse race off of turn 4. Daly on the back end. He's got to run to the inside of Dunn. Leprand and Daly door to door. Leprod looking for the crossovers. Daly will take second away from Leprod, and here comes Hyde. Hyde on the back end. Here comes Daly trying to mount a charge for the race lead. He's going to have a good run on the back end of the 100, and here it comes to the inside. Hyde will drop back in the 100, and now Keon Daly on speed and tire wear. Actually, he did not come down the pit lane. My apologies. We'll have to see if Focusato and the 9 will get any advantage. Up into the outside wall goes the 29 of Rich Roy. He got wrecking loose out of the corner, backed that ass up into the retaining wall. And he nearly sent that rear bumper out of the ballpark as well. That was closer to being out of the stadium than the 79 of Campos was. And Rich Roy will fall back in the field all the way down to the 8th spot. Rather, no, not the 8th spot, the 13th spot. I'm a moron. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. 13 of the 15 cars still in this contest. Kenny Campos and Corbin Wentz, the only Route 2 retirees here in the first third of this contest. Keon Daly fishtailing off of the corner, a la Chase Briscoe style. Let's go fishing. Of course, I think Hershey's chocolate would not make some really good fish bait. I don't know if you want to feed Kodak film to some fishes. I can't remember if it was Rockingham or Darlington, the one race where Kyle Petty was complaining about they hated so much that he would want to fill up the retaining wall with salt water and just have pro bass fishing tournaments. If there's any track you're going to do that to, do it to Texas. That track is low-key buns, I'm not going to lie. But Apollo Hyde is the furthest thing from low-key buns. Somebody else off of the corner, I believe it was Blake Warren. Single car spin. Caution flag did not come out, so I feel safe about going ahead and reviewing this. Oh, and it looks like another initial D moment out of Blake Warren, but it looks like he wasn't able to retain it. Loose out of the corner, hanging that rear end out. Was he able to save it? Save? No, he was not. Into the outside wall you go. Yeah, the gentleman, start your engines did not help you, buddy. I apologize. But you do have a lot of Darlington stripes on that car, Rich Roy. We'll drive by to pick up the 12th spot as Blake Warren will go to the Boondocks in 13th. And Keon Daly will retain the race lead. Catching up to the back end of that 94 is the 100. We'll go on board with Apollo Hyde as we take a lap around the lady in black. And Hyde might get to the back end of Keon Daly after this is all said and done. Oh, Daly caught the inside apron. Will scoot up the racetrack just a little bit, but he was able to hold that spot. Go down the front straightaway, the modern day back straightaway on the roof cam of Apollo Hyde. Down through the Earnhardt Towers, now trying to do the crossover. Past the Winston and the Busch logos, and I think the 94 got in the outside wall just a little bit, and here comes Leprod. And here comes Skizato as well. We got a 4-car race for the lead. Approaching the midway point through this contest, Skizato will say thank you very much for third. Barbosa gets in the outside wall, and Keon Daly goes from first to fourth in about 3 laps. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it and get back up into the dance. Leprod right now in the penultimate position. He's trying to draw a bead on the 100, and Blake Warren has knocked the wall down a few times. He has got a Darlington stripe and a half. He has got a Darlington sledgehammer job on that 8 car. Keon very squirrely coming out of the corner. But Hyde continuing to lead. Right at the midway point here in about, not this next time by, but the next time by after that will be our official midway point through this contest. And LaPrade trying to drive right on the back end of the 100. Next time by, we'll see the cross flags for the halfway home. Nicky Conti up in here trying to get into the 94 and into the outside wall went Keon Daly. He might lose a couple of spots. Will pound the outside wall. He might fall outside of the top 5 if he's not careful, as Bennett trying to get inside the top 5 for the first time this afternoon. But Apollo Hyde off turn 4. Whoa! Way loose out of the corner was LaPrade. Saw the sticks cross, and he got crisscross going through the corner. Halfway home through the Waffle House Rebel 100. Apollo Hyde has dominated the race so far. We will send it downstairs. We can get it to go for a snap-on race break. If we can get it over. Trying to get it over. Somebody was getting a little bit wrecking loose out there. It's Keon Daly. Forget about the race break. Keon Daly he gets clipped by the 20. Sorensen around as well. Is that enough for a multi? Keon Daly's competitive day will come to an end. Both the 42 and the 20 were involved. What the heck happened to Keon? I was trying to get the race, the through the field graphic working. Of course, it did not want to work. And Keon driving away from the scene. What the heck happened there? Is all I gotta say. Oh, and we might have our answer to what the heck happened there. Off the corner into the outside wall goes Keon, and just a little bit of a love tap there from the 37, and oh my goodness. Head on into the inside wall, back up the track. Barbosa nearly ran over the 94. That was about as titanic of a shot as we're going to see as Lucas Kennedy just clips that car. Rafaela Sorensen with a good save. Oh my goodness. Get another look at it here. That was a horrifying shot. Keon Daly, who was running in 4th at the time. Focusato gives him a little bit of a love tap, and that is about as ugly of an angle as you're going to get here at Darlington. Fortunately, Lucas Kennedy just barely is going to clip the 94, but it's not enough for a multi. That will be the end of Keon Daly's competitive race. He's able to get that 94 car back out and repaired. So here, as Dunlaprod has taken the race lead, it's not a race on the North American Sim Racing Network without us missing a race, a battle, or a pass for the race lead, whatever your English preference is. Actually, I believe we skipped ahead a couple of laps because we were on lap number 39. I think I skipped a couple laps ahead, but yeah. Dunlaprod to the race lead. In front of the 100 of Apollo Hyde. Coming around to 30 laps to go, this time by Keon Daly sprinting around the 20 car. He has currently scored 2 laps down. And trouble for the 29 car as well. I believe Rich Roy may have had an additional issue. And Daly will pump the 42 into the outside wall just a tad. No harm, no foul, but you see the damage on the back end of Rafaela Sorensen, rather right on the right front of Rafaela Sorensen's car. Davi Barbosa hard into the outside wall. They'll bring it down the service area to potentially call a day. And right now, this battle for the race lead heating up like a stick of butter in a microwave as LaPrade has got about a 2, maybe call it a car length and a half lead over Apollo Hyde. Hyde was off by about 0.3 of a second the last time by. He's going to be right on the back end of the 74 car coming on the front straightaway. this time around was just 0.15 of a second off the back end of the 74. And these two going at it. Focusato about 2.25 seconds back of these two race leaders. Now the lead will stabilize just a little bit there for Laprade. And with 30 laps to go, we'll try to get our official race spray going here as we go through the field. Presented. Trying to get the music queued up here using different sort of things. We'll go for a snap-on race spray. We'll go through the field presented by Fram. Dunn Laprade with the race lead over Apollo Hyde. Hyde with a good run off of the corner. Thought about moving down to the inside that time around. Thought better of it. Back in third is Vincenzo Focusato. Fourth is Emi Schizzato. Fifth is Nicky Conti. Sixth is Crystal Bennett. Seventh is Ike Durbin. Keon Daly runs in 12th. Rich Roy runs in 11th. 8th is Raffaello Sorensen. 9th, Lucas Kennedy. 10th is Davi Barbosa. And like we said, running... Oh, there goes Rich Roy once again. Taps the outside wall. So that battle for 11th will be won by Keon Daly, and Rich Roy has a fairly destroyed 29 machine. As he will come back out. That will do it for our snap-on race break as we went through the field presented by Fram. 9 cars still on the lead lap. 12 cars still in this contest as Blake Warren has retired from the race. He will finish in 13th. 14th is Corbin Wentz, and rounding out the field in 15th, currently 31 laps down, is Kenny Campos in car number 79. And I believe Rich Roy might be calling it a day, as well as that throwback to Vincenzo Focusato's current livery. Very, very destroyed. And this is on moderate damage, so to destroy a car that badly, pretty hard to do if I don't say so myself. But they're going to get some repairs here, and here we go. Green flag pit stops. I believe this is going to be the money stop, as nearly speeding on pit road was Laprade. He's able to slow down in time. The 3 leaders will come down. Schizzato will come around to lead a lap. Conti will also stay out as well. Same thing with Bennett. And here we go. Oh, a couple of pit members nearly getting clipped there. We'll see what these guys will do here. Hyde coming out. A faster pit stop on the left side there for Laprade. He might win this race coming off of the pit lane, and he indeed will. Laprade wins the race off the pit lane. Focusato will come out third. Between those two is Apollo Hyde. Hyde with a really good exit. Oh, they have to stay below that inside yellow line. Don't merge yet. Here they come down the back straightaway. Hyde with a really good exit off of the apron. We'll go back to the race lead. Bennett has been in the outside wall a lot of times. They've got some damage to repair. Same thing for the 9. I don't know if these guys are going to be able to come out and beat these guys coming off the pit lane. There is the 9. The 100 and the 74 right now rounding turns 3 and 4. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat them, as the 85 of Nicky Conti coming out. There's Crystal Bennett exiting in car number 84. Again, you have to stay below the yellow line on that exit route. I guess you don't. I don't know what the rules and regulations here at Darlington, but I believe this will cycle back out to Apollo Hyde being the race leader. 20 laps to go at the track Too Tough to Tame. Waiting for timing and scoring to shake out, as Nicky Conti has made their final stop of the race, I believe. Raffaello Sorensen coming down. Ike Durbin also coming down, as Sorensen was running in third. Durbin making his final pit stop. Coming off turn 4, Lucas Kennedy has not yet come down the pit lane just yet. But I believe, yeah, the 100 and the 74 cars will go to the top of the pylon here with 20 laps to go at the Darlington Raceway. Again, Lucas Kennedy still has to pit. And Vincenzo Focasato did not have a good pit stop. He is 5 seconds behind the two race leaders. Of course, it was not as bad as a pit stop as Alex Bowman's stop at Darlington last night in the Southern 500. But here we go. 19 laps to go. Sorensen will come off of the pit lane. That 42 car did not get a whole lot of repairs. This is going to be the battle for this race win. It's Kennedy trying to stay out as long as he can here. Get some laps led, but here comes that 100 of Hyde. Got those fresh Goodyear radials. Nothing you can really do as we look on the back end of Lucas Kennedy. Here comes Hyde. Immediately pulls down to the inside. That'll be one more lap led along for Lucas Kennedy. He'll get some bonus points. But Hyde in car number 100 will officially go back out to the point here with under 20 to go from Darlington. Got both Rich Roy and Ike Durbin next up on the chopping blocks. They might catch up to Durbin. Rather, that's Roy. Those two cars are the exact same. I love these guys. Oh, guys. So Apollo Hyde looking for win number 3 on the season, and the caution flag has come out. Yellow is on the speedway as Rafaela Sorensen goes hard into the outside wall off of turn number 4. The entire rear end of that Dodge, destroyed. And hold the brakes, folks. This changes everything. Now, the big question is, are these race leaders going to come back down the pit lane here to try and get another chance at some fresh Goodyear radials? They've made 3 pit stops so far. Of course, in NR, you have a limited amount of tires. But this will bring Focasato, Schizzato, and Conti back into the fray. And Lucas Kennedy as well. Kennedy, this is going to play out beautifully for Kennedy as everybody's going to come back down the pit lane. Kennedy stayed out during that run. He'll come down the pit lane in 3rd. I don't know if he is going to miss out, if he's going to have to be forced to get repairs in the 20, or if he'll try to hang with the track position. But here we go. This is the true money stop for these drivers. Looking on the back end of the 100. Laprade getting service, and not a good pit entry there for Hyde. Had to back up just a little bit, and this is going to be a slow stop for the 100. Laprade is going to win this race off of the pit lane. Can Focasato potentially get second? Jack has dropped on the 100. Didn't lose enough time to lose second, but still lost the race lead to Dun Laprade. Schizzato will now take 4th away as, Lucas Kennedy fell back, had to get some repairs on that 20 car. So it wasn't as advantageous as it was potentially going to be, but we're going to go ahead and look at what happened. Because that 42 car's back end completely toast. I don't know if one of the Millennium Autosport cars ran in the back of the 42. Oh, it was not a Millennium Autosport car, but it was another Dodge. Keon Daly. Was there even any contact there? Oh, maybe just a little netcode contact between the 94 and the 42, as that was right down the front straightaway. Yeah, and Sorensen was right in front of Schizzato. Get out of the way. The two significant others nearly making significant contact on the front straightaway. And we'll get another look at this from the front end. I believe that may have just been a netcode crash, as I didn't see any contact initially from Keon's point of view, but there was certainly contact from where the game thought these two cars were involved. Yeah, just a little tap on the 42, and around goes Rafaela. Not what you want. It was definitely not what you wanted if you were both Hyde and Leprod. So we're going to get this race restarted with less than 15 laps to go. I tell you guys what, this is going to be an epic final 12 laps to decide the Waffle House Rebel 500. Leprod got the race lead off of the pit lane. Apollo Hyde runs in second. Vincenzo Focusato back into the fray. Remember, Focusato right now is only 14 points back of Apollo Hyde. And if Apollo Hyde is not running their usual Kodak scheme, has another Augusta-esque race finish to this race, that could pay dividends for the 37 of Apollo or Vincenzo Focusato and Emi Schizzato just trying to get their second win here over these last couple of weeks. 12-lap dash to decide the Waffle House Rebel 500. Green flag back out in the air. Leprod spun the tires a little bit and immediately shunting to the outside is Hyde. Side by side for the race lead, but utilizing the inside there was Leprod, and he is going to get the lead. Leprod retaining it, coming around to 11 laps to go. Hyde is a person on a mission right now. Same thing with the 37 of Focusato. Into the outside wall goes Ike Durbin. Do we get another yellow flag for another round of pit stops? The way these guys have been racing on restarts, I believe that may in fact be the case. As Schizzato to the inside of Hyde. This is for third. Rather, that's the 37 of Focusato. My apologies. Both these guys running yellow cars. Sparking a little bit was the 74 of Leprod. Onto the front straightaway. 10 laps to go from Darlington. All the stragglers straggling in the back. Schizzato right now looking for a top 5 run. Couple cars into the retaining wall. They'll keep it straight. Crystal Bennett looking for a good finish in the 84. It's been outside of the top 5 all day. Looking to potentially get up there and get a podium finish. But right now, Leprod trying to drive that 74 car like he stole it. 9 to go as they flash down the front straightaway. Oh, and Schizzato around in the 9. Same thing with Bennett. Durbin into the wall. Is that a yellow flag again? It is. Caution flag out once again. And grab the 6 shooters, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get another restart. Second time today, Schizzato has gone around in turns 1 and 2. I'm not sure if they got a little bit of assistance there again. But it's going to be another restart for Leprod. That he's going to have to try to hold off Apollo Hyde. And it looks like we might get another last lap turn of events. Rather, another late race round of pit stops. That'll be the money stop this time around. Another just bad break for Schizzato. It's not what you want. Who comes down the pit lane for fresh Goodyears? Davi Barbosa, who was running in 4th, will come in, and here we go. Leprod is going to say, you know what? I'm going to take some fresh Goodyears. He will lead the field down the pit area once again. No, Leprod at the last second is going to stay out. Wow. I mean, you're already in the race lead. Your pit crew has been on it like Blue Bonnet. I know the results of this race already, but man, staying out of Darlington, that is just some serious Russian roulette. And Davi Barbosa, they're going to take second away. I believe Rich Roy is off of the lead lap, so he's 3 laps down. Davi Barbosa will take second. Keon Daly stayed out. He will go to second. Barbosa is third, and not a great jump for Apollo Hyde. Well, this changes absolutely everything, and a couple of barriers between Hyde and the 74 car of LaPrade. Oh my goodness. Well, Barbosa and Kit Conti stayed out as well in the 85 car. And actually, the 90 Keon was, I think he was a wave around, so he's coming down the pit lane this lap. Well, this certainly changes things, as we'll go ahead and see what happened to put us under, I believe, our 7th caution of the afternoon. Eddie Schizzato. Yep, another. If I had a nickel for every time Emmy Schizzato got tapped in the rear end to get spun around in turn 1 in tonight's race, I'd have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. How about a Days of Thunder move at Nicky Conti? Going through the fire and flames would carry on. And Crystal Bennett was the one that turned that 9 car around. And that Alan Kulwicki machine has been battered a couple of different times. We thought that they were going to be in contention for this race win, and they were. Bennett on the back end of the 9 trying to spin back around as well. They make significant contact. Like Durbin also in the wall there on the inside, just a tad. We'll get another look at it. Following in real time with Schizzato, got tapped in the rear end by the 84 into the outside wall, not nearly to the same degree as we saw from Kenny Campos, but a tough race for Schizzato, and it's been a tough start to the season for her as well. Spin of that Alan Kulwicki car. Back around. But this is going to be the shot. If we can get this all reloaded. Caution flag is not back. I need to remember to turn that off if we have another yellow. But this is a shot. We are not going to have another yellow. If you wreck now, that's it. No caution, you're screwed. We're past the point of no return. 4 to go when we go back through the Reese's restart zone. Dunlaprod in first. Davi Barbosa in second. Nicky Conti in third. Apollo Hyde, the other dominant car of this afternoon's race, in fourth. Focusato rounds out the top 5. LaPrade is the control car, trying to stack this field up just a little bit. Takes the green flag at the last second. And he did a little bit of an accordion for this field. Focusato around the outside of Conti. And what can Barbosa do in the 6th? They're going to have a run on the back end of the 74. Gets into the outside wall. They're going to go side by side all the way past Focusato. Goes to 100. They're going to set up an attack on the 85. And LaPrade is trying to get to the end. Barbosa squirrely off the corner, a couple of cars into the outside wall. 3 laps to go from Darlington. Conti under fire from the 100 of Hyde. Trying to get down to the inside of Conti. And around for 3rd is Hyde. Is there enough time to catch up to the 74? And what has Davi Barbosa got in the tank? Barbosa trying to send it up through the corner. Really good run for Davi. They might be in contention for this race win. 2 laps to go from the Lady in Black. Hyde, hard charging in the 100 right now. Cut off about 0.3 of a second. They're well within striking distance. Lap and a half to go. LaPrade trying to lead him home. Barbosa loose out of the corner. Now will fall back into the possession of Hyde. Hyde trying to get down to the inside of the 6 machine. LaPrade driving it through the corner. White flag is in the air. Final time around the Darlington Raceway, and Hyde is around Barbosa. Oh, and smoking the tires going through turn 1 was LaPrade. He is going to lose a lot of momentum going through, and that might be what Hyde needs to get the job done. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Hyde is going to have one shot out of the corner. They're going to peek down to the inside of LaPrade. LaPrade trying to shut the door on the 100. Off turn 4. Down to the inside. Drag race to the start finish line. I think LaPrade got it at the last second. I believe he did. Yes, he did. By 6/100ths of a second, Dunlop with his first real track victory of the season, gets the job done on a wild finish here at the Lady in Black. And we immediately have to go ahead and take a look at that fight for the race win. Wasn't the closest finish we've seen here at Darlington. And that is about your margin of victory, just a little under a car length. It's Dunlop, your race winner here at Darlington. Apollo High just barely got to the inside at the last second, and that was just a drag race to the start-finish line. But Dunlop able to get the job done for his second win of the season. And what a job out of Laprade. What a race that was. Holy Toledo. It's Dunlop coming down the pit lane here at the Lady in Black. He will go to victory lane, and that will do it for tonight's contest. So we will go down your running order here for the race. Not what we want. There we go. That's the proper ending. But Dunlop wins the race by 6/100ths of a second. Apollo Hyde runs in second. Will undoubtedly take the points lead after tonight's contest. Davi Barbosa was able to hold on to third. And how about Emi Schizzato after spinning twice in this race? We'll get a top 5 finish to salvage a great 4th place run for the 9 car. And falling, actually, Ike Durbin will rebound to get a top 5 spot. 6th was Nikki Conti. 7th, Crystal Bennett. 8th was Lucas Kennedy. Vincenzo Focusato fell all the way down to 9th. And 10th was Keon Daly. 11th was Rafaela Sorensen, the last car on the lead lap. 12th was the 29 of Rich Roy, who was 3 laps down, was the last car to complete all the lap, was able to finish the race and get the checkered flag. The 8 of Blake Warren, 34 laps down in the garage area. 52 laps down was Corbin Wentz in the 08. He was 14th, as 13th was Blake Warren. And rounding out the 15-car field, Kenny Campos saying hello from the parking lot. Finished this race 56 laps behind. But that'll do it here for tonight's race at the Darlington Raceway. Congratulations once again to the driver of the number 74 machine, Dunlop, getting his second win of the season here on a very, very fun race here at the Darlington Raceway. And of course, we've got Fuel Grand National coverage coming up here this Wednesday evening, live from the Finger Lakes region of New York for Watkins Glen International. We got the race sponsor here, and no, it is a special race that Zach Rogers putting on. There's some sort of logo somewhere in the server. We'll go ahead and grab it. The Death Craver 90K at the Glen, brought to you exclusively by Zach Rogers. He'll be definitely the one to beat in that race. That'll be this Wednesday night. Coverage starting at 8:45 Eastern Time here in the North American Sim Racing Network. We'll go live at 8:45. Qualifying will start at 9 o'clock. About 9:15ish will be the start of the Death Craver 90K here from Watkins Glen. That is going to do it here from the Darlington Raceway. Congratulations once again to Dunlop for winning the Waffle House Rebel 100. We'll see you later on this week here. I'll be in Watkins Glen International. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from Darlington, South Carolina. On behalf of the Fuel Racing League and the North American Sim Racing Network, my name is Trey Wright, saying so long, but see you later. We'll see you in just a couple of days in the Finger Lakes region of New York at the legendary Watkins Glen International. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you all on the flip side.